What I'm about to tell you will absolutely destroy everything you thought you knew about WWE's backstage politics and will leave you questioning everything about Seth Rollins' character. And guys, before we dive into this absolute bombshell that's going to shake the wrestling world to its core, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because trust me, you're not going to want to miss any of the insane updates coming out of this story. Triple H has just made the most brutal decision in WWE history, and the reason behind it? It's so shocking that it's going to send the entire wrestling world into complete chaos. I'm talking nuclear-level drama here, people. You think you've seen controversial firings before? Ha! You think you understand how deep backstage politics can get? Oh boy, think again. What happened to Seth Rollins isn't just a firing, and let me tell you, I've covered some pretty wild wrestling drama over the years, but this takes the cake. It's a complete character assassination that exposes the darkest side of professional wrestling that WWE never wanted you to see. And if you're not absolutely furious after hearing what Seth Rollins did to deserve this treatment, and guys, drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts because I'm genuinely curious, then you don't understand the severity of his actions. This isn't about missed spots or bad matches. Hell, we've all seen wrestlers botch moves before, right? This is about betrayal at the highest level that threatened to destroy WWE from within. Here's what really happened behind closed doors that mainstream wrestling media is too scared to report, and you know how these dirt sheets love to play it safe when the real tea is scalding hot. Triple H discovered something so damaging, so absolutely unforgivable about Seth Rollins that he had no choice but to strip him of every title and ban him from all WWE programming indefinitely. And when you hear the details, guys, seriously, make sure you're sitting down for this. You'll understand why this decision was not just justified, it was absolutely necessary. Like Triple H probably lost sleep over this, but he had to do what he had to do. The bombshell revelation that led to Seth Rollins' immediate termination involves the most sacred trust in professional wrestling, and wrestling fans, you know what I'm talking about here, the trust between performer and company. Sources deep within WWE headquarters are confirming that Rollins was caught red-handed engaging in activities that directly violated his contract and threatened the very foundation of WWE's business model. But here's where this gets absolutely insane, and I mean like next-level insane. Seth Rollins wasn't just breaking rules. We've all heard stories about wrestlers breaking curfew or whatever. No. He was actively working against WWE while collecting his massive paycheck. Can you believe the audacity? The level of deception and betrayal is so staggering that even hardened industry veterans are calling it the most disgraceful behavior they've ever witnessed in professional wrestling. Triple H, who has been trying to clean up WWE's culture and establish new standards of professionalism, and guys, we've all seen how hard he's been working since taking over creative, was reportedly livid when he uncovered the truth about what Seth Rollins had been doing behind the scenes. And when I say livid, I mean livid. Witnesses described seeing the game in a state of fury unlike anything they'd seen since his active wrestling days. Picture peak 2000s heel Triple H, but this time it's real anger, not kayfabe. And what makes the situation even more outrageous, and this is the part that's going to make your blood boil, is that Seth Rollins was portraying himself as a locker room leader and company loyalist while secretly engaging in behavior that could have brought down the entire organization. The hypocrisy is absolutely mind-blowing. Like, how do you look at yourself in the mirror every morning? Here are the facts that WWE's legal team initially tried to suppress, and you know they don't suppress stuff lightly. Seth Rollins was discovered to have been in secret negotiations with competing wrestling promotions while still under exclusive contract with WWE. But guys, that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just the beginning of this scandal that goes deeper than anyone imagined possible. The investigation revealed that Seth Rollins had been sharing confidential information about WWE's creative plans, financial details, and strategic initiatives with outside parties. We're talking about trade secrets that could give competitors massive advantages in the wrestling marketplace. The breach of trust is absolutely unforgivable. And if you think that's bad, just wait. But the real smoking gun that sealed Seth Rollins' fate was discovered in his personal communications. Text messages, emails that prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that he was actively recruiting other WWE superstars to join him in what can only be described as a coordinated effort to undermine Triple H's leadership. Can you imagine the audacity? And wrestling fans, let me know in the comments if you think any of your favorites might have been approached by Seth. Seth Rollins was literally organizing a rebellion within WWE while pretending to be a loyal company man. He was using his position as a top star to poison other wrestlers against management and create instability in the locker room. The evidence is so damning that WWE's board of directors held an urgent meeting to discuss the implications. We're talking about potential lawsuits, breach of contract claims, and damage to WWE's reputation that could cost the company millions of dollars. And you know how seriously WWE takes their money, right, guys? Triple H was left with absolutely no choice but to take the most extreme action possible. Stripping Seth Rollins of his championship was just the beginning. The complete termination and ban from all WWE properties was necessary to send a message that this kind of behavior will never be tolerated under his leadership. But here's what makes this situation even more shocking, and this is where it gets really personal. The investigation revealed that Seth Rollins' betrayal wasn't a recent development. It had been going on for months. He had been systematically working against WWE while smiling and shaking hands with executives, all while plotting their downfall. Talk about playing the long game, but for all the wrong reasons. Industry insiders are calling this the most significant backstage scandal since the Montreal Screwjob. And guys, if you don't know about Montreal, go watch my previous video on that, link in the description. The parallels are striking. A top star betraying the trust of the company and forcing management to take drastic action to protect the integrity of the business. What makes this betrayal even more personal is that Triple H had actually been considering Seth Rollins for a major push and potentially even a backstage role after his wrestling career. The game saw Seth Rollins as someone he could trust with important responsibilities, only to discover that trust was completely misplaced. I mean, imagine finding out your protege was stabbing you in the back the whole time. The emotional toll this betrayal has taken on Triple H cannot be overstated. Sources close to WWE management describe the game as being personally devastated by Seth Rollins' actions. He genuinely believed in Rollins as a performer and as a person, only to discover that everything was a carefully constructed lie. And let's talk about the devastating impact this has had on the entire WWE roster, because this affects everyone, not just the main eventers. Wrestlers who looked up to Seth Rollins as a leader and mentor are now questioning everything they thought they knew about him. The betrayal has created a climate of suspicion and paranoia that's affecting everyone backstage. Several top superstars who were reportedly approached by Seth Rollins during his recruitment efforts have come forward to management, providing additional evidence of his treacherous behavior. These wrestlers are being praised for their loyalty and integrity for refusing to participate in Rollins' scheme. Real recognize real, as they say. The financial implications of Seth Rollins' actions are still being calculated, but early estimates suggest that his breach of confidentiality could cost WWE substantial revenue. Competing promotions may have gained unfair advantages using information that Rollins illegally provided, and in today's competitive wrestling landscape, that kind of intel is worth its weight in gold. WWE's legal department is now conducting a comprehensive review of all contracts to prevent similar situations in the future. The Seth Rollins scandal has exposed weaknesses in WWE security protocols that are being immediately addressed. But here's the part that's going to make you absolutely furious, and guys, if you're not already heated, this is going to do it. Seth Rollins had the nerve to demand a meeting with Triple H after being caught, claiming that his actions were justified because he disagreed with creative decisions. The entitlement and lack of accountability is absolutely staggering. During that final confrontation, Triple H reportedly told Seth Rollins that his behavior was not just a betrayal of WWE, but a betrayal of every wrestler who had ever trusted him. The game made it clear that there would be no second chances and no path back to WWE under any circumstances, and honestly, good for Triple H for standing his ground. The security footage of Seth Rollins being escorted from WWE headquarters has become legendary among company employees. Witnesses describe him as looking completely defeated and broken, finally realizing the magnitude of what he had lost through his own treacherous actions. Sometimes karma comes for you fast, and sometimes it comes for you hard. What makes this situation even more dramatic is the timing. Seth Rollins was scheduled to headline several major pay-per-view events, and his sudden removal has forced WWE to completely restructure their programming. The chaos he created extends far beyond his own career, affecting storylines, other wrestlers' pushes, and fan expectations. Triple H has been working around the clock to minimize the damage caused by Seth Rollins' betrayal. Emergency creative meetings have been held to address storylines, championship pictures, and promotional campaigns that were built around someone who was secretly working against the company. The psychological impact on other WWE superstars cannot be ignored. Many wrestlers are now second-guessing their own relationships and wondering who else might be engaging in similar betrayals. The paranoia and suspicion created by Seth Rollins' actions will take years to fully heal. It's like he poisoned the well for everyone. Industry analysts are calling this the most significant personnel crisis in WWE's modern era. The combination of championship disruption, creative chaos, and locker room instability created by one person's selfish actions is unprecedented in professional wrestling. But here's what's really got the wrestling world talking. And drop your theories in the comments because I want to hear what